Well, welcome back, sports fans, to Double Take, a sports podcast. In this segment, we are here talking about the 2026 NFL Draft, which is tonight of this recording. I'm your host, David Gonzalez, and I'm joined by my good friend, Jericho. Man, welcome to the show.
Dude, this is crazy. When you brought up me jumping on, I was like, I'm in. Let's do it. But then schedule conflicts and everything. We had to wait till draft day. I about mentioned that we should do it today because I was thinking about taking off work, but I was like, but that's the day of. Nobody's going to be listening after the draft is over. So I hope we get somebody to hear our knowledge, our ball knowledge today. I'm really excited though to be on here
Ye-
and let's go.
I
It's
think
draft day, baby.
I think at the very least, somebody will be able to look back on it and be like, "Oh man, they nailed this," or "Oh wow, they were completely off." Either way, it's going to be great content. So I'm excited for you to be on and to talk about the draft. You are passionate about the draft as much as anyone that I've ever met in my life. I mean, our buddy Steven
Wow.
Savage of the show is like also into the drafts, but like the way that you have like, hey, and I'm like, I've never heard of this player in my life. I need to go check out his film. So I'm excited for you to kind of help us walk through, hey, what should be the expectations in the draft for each team? What are they really looking for? And availability in kind of where their draft situation is. Well, is it helpful for teams to move up or to trade back? That's kind of what we'll talk about here today.
Well, I really appreciate giving me the ball knowledge there. I love the draft. Um I there's a few holidays in the off season and the draft is like Christmas.
Yeah.
Whenever the Super Bowl ends, nothing's happening with football. It's free agency, it's the draft, it's the combine, and then like the first day of OTAs, but is that really that exciting? I
Mm,
don't It's not as exciting as knowing what your team's gonna get. The
right.
Bucks are always in good position to get somebody good that's gonna help us, like Emeka Ibuka last year. He was really
Mhm.
good. I didn't know
Fantastic.
if he was gonna be. I wasn't the highest on him, but he did really well, and see what they do this year. But it's gonna be a fun one. I don't think it's the high end talent draft, but there's a lot of you can build a lot of good, like you could find a lot of players that can play for you and start. But it does kind of taper off after the first round. You kind of go through names, and at the end of the first round, you're like a bunch of people could jump in, but you're also like, I don't know if that player's that good.
Yeah.
So it kind of tops off.
I think at the very least, this draft is loaded with players that you can develop into being great players. You know, like there, I think it's a draft that you're not going to see immediate impact as starters after the first round, but you have a lot of guys that if you have good coaches on your staff, they can really become those pieces over time. At least strong depth guys, which teams like the Cowboys are in desperate need of, especially on the
Mhm.
defensive side of the ball in your secondary. This is a draft class that I think in the secondary is one of those drafts to where like you can find some good pieces of building some depth on your roster.
Yep, agreed for sure.
But real quick, before we hop into it, like you said, you're a Tampa Bay Buccaneers fan. Talk about how you think that their offseason has gone. I know Mike Evans was a big loss. I think Levante David was retired, I think, finally. Uh,
Mhm.
and so talk about where you see Tampa Bay heading into the draft this year. Are you still excited about this team or are there some concerns?
Anytime you lose to really I mean, I really think Levante David will be a Hall of Famer when it's all said and done. Mike Evans will definitely be a Hall of Famer. When you lose those 2 type of guys, Super Bowl champs, started from when we were not good, and
Yeah.
they kept fighting and they kept, just being consistent, sticking to their craft, building a roster that Tom Brady wanted to come play for us. You know what I mean? It's because of those 2 guys. They were a big reason why. So seeing Mike go on, kinda like Todd said in the offseason and, Jason, they were like, "Hey, you have the right to choose. We're not gonna franchise tag you." We could have franchise tagged him. We could have, held on to him, but we said, "We're gonna let you be a, professional, and we hope you're back. We're gonna offer you they showed that they wanted him.
Mhm.
So, it's really a bummer to lose those 2 guys. Overall, though, I think we're going back to the trenches a little bit right now. Like, we signed a bunch of depth defensive tackles, and Robinson and, Alshon Robinson brought back Nunez Roches. So we're gonna have a lot of waves of big people. We gotta find some edge guys. We gotta find the pass rusher that go with Yaya Diaby. We got Chris Braswell. He's okay, but he's just, he hasn't developed into the player you'd hope he would be for a second round pick. The corners are young. They could project to be starters, but I don't feel comfortable with them. You lose Jamel Dean, who is like always a rocky. He was a roller coaster. It's like either he's playing well or he gets hurt, and then you got the safeties. They're good. So I feel like defensively is where I see us drafting, but we could sneak in and say, hey, we like Denzel Boston at number 15. He's Mike Evans ish. I think he's more of a Nico Collins receiver, but
Right.
we
Mhm.
we could go Kenyon Sadiq. We could build into Baker Mayfield. Obviously, being a Oklahoma State Cowboy, I'm super excited about Zach Robinson coming in, running the ship. I thought we made good free agency acquisitions, but we can't do a lot because we're gonna have to pay Baker. Baker's gonna demand 50 plus $1 million. I think he's worth it. I would always encourage any quarterback to be careful about just taking as much as you can. It's really hard to win. He's good enough, he deserves it, he's fought his tail off to be where he's at, he's made a lot of money, but, I'm excited. I think the receiving core needs a player, but I could see why we just kinda make it work with what we have,
Mm.
and I feel comfortable we could make it work with what we have, but the defense is a defensive head coach, so we gotta be an elite defense. I don't think we're elite defense, even though we spent a lot of resources over there, so still got a lot of good guys. I thought we did fill that linebacker position. That's why I don't think they'll go linebacker in the first 2 rounds with the,
Mhm.
Alex Anzalone and then I cannot remember this guy's name, but the Panthers linebacker. He used to play for the Rams, but he's had 200 plus tackles in 2 seasons as a starter. I think they see him as a, replacement there.
Yeah, I think, this year will be interesting for Baker. I think you're talking about Christian Roseboom? Is that who you're
Mhm.
talking about? The guy
Yeah.
from Carolina? Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, he's gonna be an interesting signing as well. I think Anzalone is also a great player. I think for Baker Mayfield.
He was definitely under the radar, and they
Yeah.
definitely signed up right after they found out about Levante
Yeah, and I
retire.
think, I mean, 2 years, 17,000,000, I feel like that's a
Mhm.
great contract, and then Roseboom was 1 year, 2.5. Like, I think that those are 2 great deals. So, yeah, I think that works. I think for Baker, this is gonna be an important year for him, and I think that if Tampa decides to, "Hey, we're just gonna hold off and just have this receiving core," it could make or break. Well, I think it could only do positively for Baker Mayfield, because I think what the Bucks will
Mhm.
do, if he kinda plays like how he played towards the end of the year last year, like,
Mhm.
they'll be able to say, "Well, we just need to surround this guy. We need to get another weapon to kinda help him out." But if he plays well, it's like, "Hey, he can actually elevate these guys." And hey, we still may need to get a weapon, but we don't have to burn like a top pick next year to do it. We can
Mhm.
fill some other holes and also pay Baker. So I think
And I
it'll be
think
interesting to see this
Baker
year how he does.
I think Baker played really well last year. I think he got hurt down the stretch. Our
Yeah.
offensive line, which is a dominant force, was never healthy. Literally week 1 we lost. We had our starting center week 1 starting at left tackle. We lost our right guard for the whole year. We were patching that thing together constantly, and it just showed down the stretch. I don't think that
Agreed.
was Baker's fault. I think Baker does a whole lot with less because Mike was hurt all year. Chris was in and out all year. He
Yeah.
had to rely on Emeka and Tez, who were both rookies, carrying the load. I like Cade Otton, we got him back, solid little underrated tight end, can kinda do it all. So I think he played extremely well. He was hurt, and the accuracy may have dropped off. That's gonna happen when you fight through injuries. I
Yeah.
think people ding players these days for fighting through injuries, but it's like your best ability is availability, no excuses. If you can be out there, be out there. And he was. He's a warrior. He made this OSU fan cheer for him. Uh, I want a creamsicle Baker Mayfield jersey. I think he's totally worth whatever money he gets. I don't want to sound like one of those people. I just know that it's really hard to win in Tampa, and there's no state tax.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
but
I
I'm excited. It's just not. We got to nail this. Like
Yeah.
we gotta get a starter. We gotta find a pass rusher
Mhm.
and hold it down. So I'm gonna be excited to see what they do. See if they trade back for somebody they like, because there are some good size guys that kind of fit the mold. I don't know if they're elite. I think Mesidor could be elite for option for them at 15. I don't think they'll draft him there because he's 25. I think they want to move
Yeah.
back if they were to take him. He's
Mhm.
25 though because he played in Canada. It's not because he couldn't
Uh,
play.
right.
He was from Canada, and it's really hard to find Canadian players. OSU had Chuba Hubbard, but
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
really hard to find Canadian players, and it was hard for him to get noticed. So that's kind of why he feels like a guy that, to me, ability wise, could go right there at 15. But after that, he could also fall to 25, 30. But I think he's a
Yeah.
stud.
Yeah. Well, let's go ahead and let's hop into this.
No, we talked Buck football, man. Now we got to talk about everybody else. Ugh.
Yeah, now we gotta talk about everybody else, the needs of every other team. And so we're already in it. We're in the draft right now. We got the Raiders on the clock. I mean, I feel like this
You're gonna
is
shock the world.
no, I feel like this is a no-brainer. I think Mendoza is kind of the choice. I personally like Mendoza. I think that he's a great player. I think that his style is a little bit different than what I've seen in recent years from quarterbacks. Like, but Las Vegas is a tough place. Like you're talking about difficult places to win. I mean, who's won
Mhm.
with the Raiders since
Yeah.
Derek
Well,
Carr?
let's start off with the last first round quarterback they ever took was, do you know? I know.
Was it Jamarcus Russell?
It was Jamarcus Russell. They haven't taken a first round quarterback.
Dude, that's crazy.
They they held it down with Derek Carr, obviously. He was awesome. He
Yeah.
should have been a first round pick. He was a first round talent when you compare the guys in that draft.
Mhm.
But, that's the last time they took one. I love the moves that they mostly made this free agency. I think the Max Crosby thing is a bummer, but maybe you don't want to get all the resources for this draft. Maybe you want to wait for next draft and you just play it out.
Mhm.
Now has some friends to kind of help him out. So I think that defense is going to be a lot better. They sign maybe the one of the best centers, top 5 center in the Iowa kid who's been at the Ravens. His name's
Yeah.
slipping me a second. So they're starting to get some help. They have Colton Miller at left tackle, which ironically, the tackle position reminds me of that Colton Miller draft with him and Mike McGlinchey, where you didn't hear about him and then they popped up in the top 10. But they've got the Oregon guard they drafted a few years ago. I think they got some pieces where they don't have to throw him in right away because of Kirk Cousins, but they've also got some pieces to help them. But they don't have a receiver. They got Brock Bowers. We know Brock Bowers is great when healthy, but they don't have a receiver. As far as Fernando goes, I think he's a great leader. He throws the ball. He can do everything you need to do throwing wise. I think he's a little Joe Flacco-esque, maybe a little more athleticism. I don't think he quite has that arm talent that Joe Flacco had. Very
Mhm.
underrated passer, but he's tall, he's long. He reminds me of Tom Brady in some ways where he is tall and long. He sits in there. He looks like a beanpole. Um, I think the biggest critic, and not that he's a doesn't like him, is Dan Orlovsky's opinion about
Yeah.
the first
What
reads
big
and
game
things
has he
like that,
been
and
what big game has he been in?
I get it, but man, the run they went on was crazy. They beat the snot out of Oregon. It was not even a contest. You can't do anything as a quarterback if your first read's there all the time.
Mm,
And his first
yeah.
read there was there a lot. They ran a lot of RPOs, like, that's very college-esque, but that doesn't mean he can't do that, and he's got the mentality to go into the NFL and do it. He is a football savant. He knows he was on with Chris Sims talking about Brett Favre's grip. He's like, "That's how Brett Favre throws it." Like,
Mhm.
he knows it. He loves it. He's gonna have a great resource in Tom Brady. I think the Raiders, I hate saying it because it could age poorly because they just haven't done it, but this is a step in the right direction where we could be saying in a few years, the Raiders are the team, or the Raiders are competing in the West, even though, like, there's 3 other good quarterbacks there. That division is not gonna be easy going forward. I think they got the coach. He fits. I mean, Sam Darnold, he can do what Sam Darnold did, and I'm not trying to
Mhm.
hate on Sam Darnold. I'm just saying the play action, the passing, the efficiency, the smarts. I think he's got all that. It's a very quarterback friendly offense because they're going to rely on Genty. Genty's a big figure in that, and I think he'll be really awesome. So I'm excited for him. He's a great guy, and he's going to do well.
Yeah. Well, let's go ahead and
But he
let's
doesn't
talk
blow
about
my socks off. I just want to point that out,
Yeah,
though.
no,
Like, he
he's not
doesn't blow your socks off,
right. He's
but he's
not a
awesome.
top he's not like the top prospect quarterback coming out, in the draft, He's not
Yeah.
on the same level as, like, maybe a Joe Burrow. Um,
Caleb Williams, Jaden
yeah,
Daniels, like, I think of
like
that draft, which that draft was loaded,
Mhm.
and I think hindsight is difficult, but I think you would put him after Drake May,
Right.
but I think he's more Drake May had his things. Like, there's reasons that Drake May would be all over the place in lists, but he's
Yeah.
obviously worked those things out and went to a Super Bowl, so but I think Fernando would fall right there in that range.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah,
Caleb
for sure.
Williams and Jaden Daniels, they're both incredible. Incredible prospects.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Let's go to the Jets now. They got the 2nd pick, but they also have the 16th pick that they got from Dallas in that trade for Quinnen Williams. So they sit here at number 2. Um, this team has a lot of needs. They need receivers. They need to get that defense back to where it was
Mhm.
under Robert Saleh. Um, so there's a couple of options that they can go with. But Aro Reese seems to be kind of the guy that everyone thinks that they'll take in this draft.
So, it's strange. What you hear is it's him or David Bailey, but it's all over the
Yeah.
place, and I think this new regime, they're tight-lipped. Old regime, you would hear it, you would know. The Jets, like, they could not keep a secret. So, I think it's one of these 2 guys. I think they'll do fine with both of them. I personally think you have to take Arvo Reese. We're talking about Michael Parsons here, and I'm not even joking.
Mm,
I mean, Micah Parsons played linebacker. I think he's longer and slimmer than Micah was, but he's also only 20. He can put on 20 pounds. He can play edge. Um, but he could also be an elite linebacker. He may be the best at both in this draft. I think that people are thinking about Simmons, the safety that went from Clemson a few years ago, where
yeah.
we didn't quite know what he was, and I know he only had 100 pass rushes, like, all year, but I'm just telling you, this guy is a freak. He's gonna do well. I think he's more polished, and when he gets around some guys, they're gonna be like, "This is all you have to do. You can make $50 million." I mean, that's what old Nick Anderson just signed $50 million. You can make that a year if you
Mhm.
just do this. And I think he's going to be a freak. I know the Jets, everybody's argument is the Jets should take Bailey. He's a proven edge and they got to win right now. But man, if you miss, on what
Yeah.
this guy is freaky. You know what I mean? Who's the other Penn State guy? Abdul Carter. He could be
Yeah.
that too. Like, he is that freaky. He just hadn't done it, and that's why he's not the clear number 2 pick. That doesn't mean he can't be. So
Yeah.
that's my assessment there. But they got a lot of holes. I think he fills a big hole, and they've already got some edge guys too. He could start out at linebacker. They could
Mhm.
bring him
Yeah,
down
they
in
can move
pass
them all
rush
around the field.
situations.
Yeah, I
You
think
don't
that's
have
kinda
to
where
play him
the
there the whole
Michael
time.
Parsons deal comes into, of, like, Micah when the Cowboys drafted him, is like, you can move him all over the place. You can have him play, linebacker, you can have him cover a
Mhm.
running back, like, those kinds of things, I think is what you're also hearing about Reese as well.
And then
So I
it's
think
like,
that's
"Oh,
the direction
wait.
they
Oh
go.
my gosh, this guy is a freak at edge. Let's just leave him here." And he
Yeah.
dominated the league. I mean,
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Alright, so we
uh,
got Arizona now on the clock at number 3.
everything I'm hearing from obviously Adam Schefter put this down. Um, my favorite, Chris Sims, he talked about how uh, uh, McFleur is a running backs coach. He is a running game coordinator. He wants to run the ball. They have good options at running back, but
They got
ultimately
James
for me,
Conner.
I've got them take and they picked up Algier, who's a
Yeah.
nice he's a solid back. He could start for them. I think they would be fine if he started for them. He if sorry, but I everybody's saying Jeremiah Love here. Like for
Yeah,
last
I'm
week,
hearing
it
that as well.
was I don't think they should pass up defense. They have made a few first round picks on the defensive line in the last couple years, and Robinson out of Mizzou who got hurt, and Walter Nolan, who they drafted out of Ole Miss last year. I don't
Mhm.
know how good those guys are. I am conflicted. I think they could also trade down and do your. I don't think they would do your little theory we're going to talk about here in a little bit.
Mm.
Um, but they could trade down and take a tackle. If somebody was like, we want David Bailey, you know what I mean? They
Uh-huh.
could trade with the, you know, whoever and get David Bailey. But I've got him taking Jeremiah Love. What's your opinion?
So, I do think that Arizona trades out of this. I think that they do trade with someone who wants Bailey. I don't think it's gonna be Dallas. I think, especially after hearing the whole Parsons news of their, or not Parsons, Pickens news, and that they're just gonna let him kinda play his contract out, I'm already starting to get the sense that the Cowboys are going to be passive in this draft, and they're not going to be aggressive in terms of trading up now. Um, I will propose that trade though,
Okay.
later on when we get there. Um, but I think I think Kansas City might make a trade up.
That's what it's like the Chiefs. There's a lot of teams with 2 first round picks. It's the
Yeah,
Chiefs, the
yeah.
Cowboys. I mean, what if the Jets were just like crazy and we're gonna trade up to number 3 and like take Bailey and Arvell Reese?
That would be crazy, bro.
They don't need him though. They got McDonald, but that would be I haven't
Right.
even thought about that. That
Yeah,
just
yeah, yeah.
popped in my brain.
Yeah, I got them
That would
trading
be
with
wild.
Kansas City, and Kansas City going and getting David Bailey, and then I have
Yeah.
Arizona moving back to 9 and getting a tackle.
I have heard the Chief clamor to move up, and I don't know how real it is because to me, I've got them at number 9 taking Mansour Delane. They
Uh-huh.
do not have a cornerback. They don't have
Yeah,
one. They lost both of them. Uh They need a right tackle. They lost their right tackle. I don't believe they made a transaction worthy to say they don't try to draft a Blake Miller out of Clemson. I just think they got other holes, but they don't have another opportunity to get a premium player. So it's
mhm,
like, I would juggle it and just keep it the way I have it. Like if I was the Chiefs, I would just
mhm.
take the corner,
Just stay at
try
9.
get a tackle or, get a receiver, like, if you liked KC Concepcion, like, down there and you wanted somebody explosive again, but
Yeah,
he KC Concepcion, I know we'll get there later, but he's kinda like Kadarius Toney to me a little bit where it's like, he's super fast, he's super explosive, he can't catch.
yeah. So you think that
Hopefully his
you
character is good, I'm not trying to put that on him, but I
right.
just but he's twitchy, he's
Mhm.
fun, but yeah, go ahead.
So essentially, you're just like, yeah, I just think that the Cardinals are going to stay pat at 3 and take Jeremiah Love.
That's what I think is gonna happen.
Okay.
What I would do is probably just take David Bailey. So I don't know if how we want to do that, but that's my opinion. I think what will happen, they'll take the running back. He's Alvin Kamara with beef to me. I mean, we're talking
Mhm.
about Alvin Kamara here.
Yeah.
Everybody would have redrafted and taken Alvin Kamara in the top 5 in 3 years, you know what I mean? If
Yeah.
we knew what he was gonna be, but this guy can be him, but do the power. And Alvin Kamara was a great inside runner too, but they always had another guy to be the
Mhm.
power. This guy can do both. I
Right.
just think he's freaky. He's gonna be I think he's better than Genty last year. I think he's better than a lot of maybe not he's not better than Robinson as a
Mhm.
prospect, but he might be better than Gibbs as a prospect. So I don't think
Yeah.
you they're gonna but think about this if you're the Cardinals. Because to me, they're the Ty Simpson team. And I think they're gonna come back up in the first round, not super high, just at pick 32, pick 31, because they don't care about size at quarterback. They like Jimmy G's, the Jimmy G's of the world. And imagine him with Jeremiah Love, McBride, Harrison coming up, Wilson coming up. That's an offense. You know, you got some capability there. I think with Simpson, we'll get there later, but he's very Derek Carr, Jimmy G to me. Like Derek
Mm.
Carr might be his high, Jimmy G might be his low. Jimmy G went to a few Super Bowls. They were both shorter quarterbacks. Um, but he's proficient, but I would not take him anywhere
Yeah.
in the top 30. It has to be after we just want him for that 5th year option.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
that's not terrible. They got a left tackle. They got Paris Johnson. Like it's
Yeah.
not terrible.
Mhm.
And then if you suck, you can just, figure it out next year.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, let's go
They're not
Tennessee here.
firing you after 1 year. They
Right.
held on to
No.
Gannon for
Well,
3 years.
yeah, they did fire one coach after 1 year before Gannon.
Yeah, I think they're tired of going through revolving
I hope
doors
so.
there.
I would hope so.
LaFleur's
But
a brilliant mind too, so he's
mhm.
a name. You can't
Yeah,
he's a name.
you can't
You
yeah, you're right, you're right.
can't fault him for the roster.
Yeah, though they have
Alright.
tried. But, alright, here we go. Tennessee.
Mhm. Yeah. Do you want Joey Bosa or do you want your Fred, uh, Warner before we get to your like, if you're about to propose a trade, but before you do, if
Oh,
that wasn't on the table, we can't quite jump in there yet. I know you want
right.
to.
I know,
Uh
I know.
Do you take your David Bailey for team building or your Fred Wagner or Warner? Sorry, Wagner. Which one do you are you
Like,
froze?
are
Oh,
you talking about,
it
like,
looked like you were froze.
Cowboys, or are you talking about
The
Tennessee?
Titans. If the Titans weren't trading
Mhm.
and you were building their team with Robert Sala in your corner,
I
do
would
you
take
build the
David
team
Bailey.
around the edge or the linebacker?
I would take the edge,
Mhm.
personally. Um, I think that this is also another team that if the Cardinals would pass up Love, I would think that Tennessee would probably go for Love as well to pair
Mhm.
with Cam Ward. But I do think that edge is kind of where they're going to go. Um, but I could also see them going with Sonny Styles. I could.
I think you go edge, you would have Jeffrey Simmons, and then you'd have Jermaine Johnson, who is super underrated pass
Mhm.
rusher, was drafted very high, top 10 pick to the Jets, if I recall, out of Florida State. He tore his ACL his first year, just had some setbacks, but I think this
Mhm.
guy is a good other edge. I think you'd have a good defensive line. They could develop it's hard to develop high-end defensive linemen. I mean,
Yeah.
Myles Garrett was the number 1 overall pick. It's really hard to find guys like Max Crosby.
Mhm.
Those don't exist.
Right.
Like, he is a outlier, had a crazy story, played at a small school, and built his way up. JJ Watts, they don't exist. TJ Watts, they don't exist. He was a top 30 pick.
Mhm.
Um, I don't think they would go receiver. I do think Jordan Tyson is going to wreck my mock draft because I think the medicals are scary, but he's healthy now and he did his workouts, and that dude has got some freakiness to him, Odell Beckham-esque type of player as
Yeah.
far as athleticism and balance and being able to jump in the air. But I don't think they would do that. This Titans pick is going to take too long, though. You have a trade that you want to propose.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So this is a trade that I did see and I sent to you, last night. It's a trade with the Cowboys that sees the Cowboys getting the 4th pick and the 35th pick, and the Titans they move back to 20 and they get George Pickens. Now, I'm not saying this is happening. I'm just saying that would be interesting, uh, to see.
it it would be wild, and it's weird that all this contract discussion, all this stuff is coming out the week of the draft. It's coming out this week, not last week, not last month. Right here. Do you want to make a deal? He's available. Like, we're not going to re-sign him this year. It's not happening. Like, it's
Yeah,
not out of the realm of possibility that they use him. But Sonny Styles is a freak. He's
he
got
is a freak.
potential to be
Yeah,
the best linebacker in the league. He really does. If
yeah,
you watch his film, which I haven't, uh, but I think he kind of second half of the year really figured it out and became an
right.
elite
Yeah.
player. Where I think
Mhm,
he was good. I think he figured it out in a awesome defense. We're gonna have 3 or 4 guys in the top 10 here probably go. But with Sonny
mhm.
Styles, can you justify losing a big time receiver that just balled and put because I wasn't a George Pickens guy. Like, I thought he was a one trick pony down the field, could catch the ball. And I know they never had an elite quarterback in Pittsburgh, but just really blew me out of the water kind of about how he played last year.
Yeah.
Can you really give that up? And an elite part of your team is your offense for a linebacker.
Yeah, I think that's
Can
the
you
big
do it?
question. I think what I would say to that is Jerry is going to have a difficult time justifying paying 2 receivers over $30 million when you're paying your quarterback $60 million, you know?
Mhm.
So, you're also looking at someone like Ryan Flanoy, who last year, towards the end of the year, got his opportunity, and he made the most of his opportunity.
What
And
number was
so
he?
he was number 19.
Okay.
And so when you're looking at someone like that, you have a running back and hopefully an offensive line that is continued to develop, um, like you're looking at it like, I don't want to pay him 30 million. I rather go get this elite linebacker that we know we need on defense because
You have
last
to
year
have
you had
something.
Kenneth Murray who was tackling the air. So
I
I think if you're Dallas, this
But
is
you got Overshown. I
you
mean,
do have
Overshown's
Overshown.
nice. He was
Yes.
hurt, but when he was in, he was figuring it out.
Yeah.
Um,
But there's only so much that he could figure out when you don't because he's not I don't think
mhm,
that he's the linebacker that Sonny Styles is. He's the guy Overshown's the guy who's gonna give you 100% effort, really good downfield, like, just north and south runner. He is great at what he does, can blow up a play. But
mhm.
you need someone else to really kind of anchor that defense in the middle.
Does now in this trade, this mock trade, they keep the number 12 pick, right? It would be
Yeah,
the
they do.
the
Mhm.
2nd pick and George Pickens. The Titans have money to
Yeah, so the
burn.
Titans get the keep the 12th pick, have the 20th pick, and uh, and get George Pickens. Or no, sorry. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
they get the 12th.
the
Yeah,
they get the
they get the
20th.
12th. Yeah, or
Who
yeah, they
who
get the
get
20th. Yeah,
the
you're
20th?
right.
Okay, good. That's what
Yeah,
I
yeah,
thought.
yeah. Yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah.
to me, if you could really pull that off, I would do it because you get another high-end player. You have a guarantee almost of getting a good player at 12. If you're the Cowboys, obviously, if you're the from the Titans standpoint, why wouldn't you wanna get one of the most like, he's an ascending superstar. Like, that's what we're seeing. Put him with Cam Ward. You have another receiver in Wan'Dale Robinson. But the thing for the Cowboys to me, you just draft Denzel Boston at 12. Like, you just replace him with another receiver. You get
Mhm.
Sonny Styles and Denzel Boston on rookie contracts. So to me,
It says likely rejected, but I can't add players. Oh,
no,
wait,
you can
I
add
can.
add a future picks. Oh, there you go. I didn't
There
know
we
you
go.
could add players. So to me, Denzel Boston just, we'll get there in a little while, but he's one of the
Right.
most underrated receivers in this draft. I think the NFL is higher on him than what you would hear on a draft show. He's very Nico Collins-esque. He could
Mhm.
fill that role. He has the potential to be the second best receiver in this draft, in my opinion,
Yeah.
behind
Oh,
what Jordan Tyson could be.
right, right.
Because I think Jordan Tyson is the guy. He's just got injuries. Denzel Boston is nice. He played for Washington. Did Washington have a good team? No. Did Washington have a good quarterback? I have no
No.
idea because I can't name him. And this guy just gets open. He's long.
Oh, I
He
thought
can
you were talking about Commander, sorry.
uh uh
Sorry.
Denzel Boston. But if you could do
Yeah.
that, get Denzel Boston, or maybe you like a corner.
Yeah.
Maybe you like Jermon McCoy and you don't care about the medical because he just ran a 4.38 at his workout and he's the best
Mhm.
corner in the draft. If he's not hurt, you could
Right.
also get him. So I think if you're the Cowboys, I would totally do this. It's not out of the realm of craziness. The Titans still have to pay
Oh, they
pay
rejected it.
bacon. Oh
Can't do
man.
it.
Well,
So,
just throw in an
let's
extra thing. We just want to blow. We want to shock the world, so
okay.
we can have a nice clip on social media.
Yeah. So, let's have the Cowboys trade the 12th maybe.
No, let's keep the 20th. You can add a pick next year. I think
Okay.
they would do this. I
Okay.
mean, I don't think it's
So,
crazy.
the 20th, the 4th, the 3rd. Oh, it's working this time.
Sometimes it depends on who you pick first. So,
Yeah.
like, who's proposing, whatever.
Yeah.
So
So,
yeah, let's just
I had Tennessee propose this to Dallas.
okay.
So, yeah,
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 let's see
yeah.
if that works.
Alright,
All
cool.
right.
Good deal.
Sweet.
Alright, so the Cowboys are here now, they're at 4, and I think that they take Sonny
Mhm.
Styles.
Yeah, I
Where I
don't
think the
think there's
Cowboys are
any
going.
question.
Right. So let's go there.
Y'all got Quiddy Pay if I'm not mistaken. That's who you signed in the off season
Um,
from he was at the Colts.
I think we
Or
might
you
have, yeah.
or you traded for him. It was after after Max Crosby fell through that y'all went and got
Yes.
him. So you would have him and then the Boston
Well,
College kid from last year at edge.
oh, yeah, 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 yeah. Well, we picked up Rashawn Gary.
Rashawn Gary, not Quiddy
Rashawn
Pay,
Gary,
wrong
yeah.
Michigan.
Yeah,
I
we
like
got
Rashawn Gary
Rashawn
more than Quiddy Pay.
yeah,
Rashawn
we got
Gary,
Rashawn
man.
Gary, you got Quinnen Williams, you got Kenny
Yeah.
Clark, and then you have,
Yeah.
Devon
Ch ch
Donovan
Ezraku.
Ezeraku. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That is your front.
Uh,
And then you have Overshown and then now Sonny Styles
yeah.
in your linebacking core. So,
Does, is Mozzie Smith still on your team?
no, we gave him up. We traded him to the Jets for Quinny,
That was
for
strange.
Q ball. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh, I didn't realize he was at man, the Jets
Yep,
got
yep,
big. Not
they
that
did.
Mozzie Smith is good, but they also got
No,
Trevonde Sweat
right.
in that they're gonna be big up front, which is how the Lions like it. They like big defensive tackles that can two gap. They
Yeah.
aren't. They aren't a up the field type of team. All right, let's move on. The Giants, because we'll be
Yeah.
here all day. Which I'm great. If we want to be here till draft day, I'm great. Let's go. I will talk about this all day.
Yeah. I gotta work, so we gotta kinda get through it.
Yeah,
We
I
gotta kinda get
know.
through this, but
It'll
alright.
speed up now. I think we're
Yeah,
through the
yeah, yeah.
difficult. You got through
Right.
your trade there.
Yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted. Okay,
Yeah,
so let's go 5 here.
yeah. This is where it gets interesting. I really wait. What? Oh, David Bailey hasn't been taken.
Nope,
We
he
didn't even
has
talk
not.
about that.
No,
So
no.
the Cowboys wouldn't take David Bailey.
I think it's a debate. I think it's an either or. I think you have good reasons to take Sonny Styles. I think you have good reasons to take Bailey. But I
Uh-huh.
would say for the need of that the Cowboys have, they need Sonny Styles. So I would go with him.
I think if I was the Cowboys and this happened, I would not have traded up so far. Like I would have tried to trade with the Giants or the Browns, but the Giants could get Sonny Styles. They
Yeah,
could
that's
draft.
the thing. You
They could
wanna
have
try and
drafted him
beat
right
them.
here.
Yeah, yeah. That's kinda why 4 is what we're
Mm,
targeting because the Giants trading 2-5,
mhm.
you can no longer wait for 6.
Okay. Well, if this is how it went, I would be the Commanders for a second. Be like, hey,
Mhm,
we want to take David Bailey. It's 2 spots. We don't want
mhm.
somebody to jump us with Cleveland, and I would do that deal. I know it's interdivisional, but to me,
We can do that.
that's 2 picks. Like you just move up two, because the Giants could take Tyson, they could take Downs,
Mhm.
they could take the tackle if they wanted to. They
Right,
could take
yeah.
Carnell Tate.
Mhm.
Um, they've got options.
Yeah, so what would that trade look like? Giants just pick swapping, going from 5 to 7, and
Yeah,
then
like throw on a third round pick, see if
yeah,
that
yeah, yeah.
does it. Maybe a fourth round if it.
Let's see. Looks like they take the 3rd,
Yeah. Whatever you
or
gotta do to get it done, Gonzalez. Come
okay,
on.
let's
Oh,
do let's
just do
do
one.
that
Do like a fourth round or like a second round next year.
for Washington.
Yeah, like we don't care about their future picks. We're just trying to do a sugar.
Likely get
Oh
rejected.
wait, no, it's because you're flopping the thing. Just put it on the Giants there. Put the second on the Giants. It'll work. We just got to get it work to work. All right.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, so let's do that. Alright, they
That's not
trade
what
up.
we're saying we would do. I'm just saying that we just got
Yeah,
to
yeah,
get
yeah,
the thing
correct.
done.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Alright,
So
so they
which
go
Oh yeah,
David
David
Bailey.
Bailey. Yeah.
Alright.
And
Okay, now
then
you got Cleveland.
yeah, I think Cleveland no matter what, I really like that Jets trade cuz I think the Cleveland really wants to take a tackle.
Mhm.
I don't think they would take Tyson or
No, I
Tate.
don't think so either. No.
So I'm gonna propose that Jets trade. Jets move up to get I think it's Tate with them. Because something just tells me the Jets are trying to hit safe players and not necessarily hit on Tyson because they have to have their guys. Yeah, let's just do it there. Boom. You agree with that?
Yeah, no, yeah, I agree with
So
that.
I think they would take ooh, they could also take Desmond Bain.
Desmond Bacon.
They could take Desmond Bain. That
Or
would be wild. I said that earlier with the David Bailey thing. But yeah, let's go with Carnell Tate. What do you think?
yeah, yeah, I think so. Let's do that. Carnell Tate. Let's get this ad out the way. Alright, cool.
All right.
Alright, so Giants move back.
Yeah. And I think they're taking Tyson here.
Yeah.
I think Tyson could just go to them at 5.
Mhm.
Him and Mr. Neighbors would be freaky, but you just hear Tyson's name rising up the board. It's
Yeah.
not that they wouldn't take Caleb Downs here or the tackle, but I think I think they'll wait on the tackle because they're going to get a good tackle.
Uh-huh.
I know they may not get the right tackle, but we'll see. All right. Saints,
Mhm.
I got the Saints taking Desmond Bain or Ruben Bain. You got to
Yeah.
get somebody if you're them, even though I don't like them. You got to get somebody to replace what Cam Jordan has been to you the
Yeah, you're
last
right.
several
Mhm.
years.
Agreed.
I can see them going Caleb Downs here, but in this case, I'm going to take Ruben
Yeah.
Bain.
Now, okay, so now we have the Chiefs.
Mhm.
You got Downs, Delane.
I think so. Here's where my conundrum with the Chiefs. They're I think they prioritize the safety position more
I
than
think
the
they do as
corner
well.
position. They've had they had, Reed, they had Matthews, they had, they've always had a good safety. I think they have to have a corner, but in the way this is shaken out, I think they go, "We got Caleb Downs at 8." That's
Yeah.
gonna just,
Uh, mhm.
I had them taking Mansour to lane, but I didn't have Downs here. I had Downs going to the Commanders at
Yeah.
7, who I think if some of the stuff didn't go down like it did today, I think they would prioritize safety
I think so
because
too.
they
Yeah.
want Earl Thomas.
Yeah.
This guy could be Earl Thomas, maybe not as much speed.
Mhm.
All right, back to
Back to
the
the
Giants.
Giants.
I think the Giants. Oof. I like some Francis Malinois. I know
Yeah.
that's another receiver, but I don't think they don't. I don't think they feel like they have to have a corner. They got the receiver. I think you protect Jackson Dart.
Mhm.
I think the Dolphins are pissed because I think that would be where they might go.
Yeah.
And then, all right, who do we got left at? We got the 3 edges off the board. I don't think the
Mhm.
Dolphins have taken edge. Um, I This could be a trade out spot. Like the Bucks could totally trade up here and get Mansour Delane if they felt like he was the guy. I've seen that mocked. I don't
Yeah.
want to do so many trades. I know you got to
And
get
the
as well here, but man, I think they could just take Monroe Freeling,
I
the
yeah,
tackle out of Georgia, with
I think
with Francis
which
Malinois going off.
yeah, I think so too. So let's do that.
Yeah.
And then because what this would mean
Uh-huh.
is that the Cowboys would get Delane. That is the dream scenario for Dallas.
Oh, man, you're
That is
gonna
the
do that
dream.
to me.
Yep.
You're gonna
I
do
think
that to me.
I think the Cowboys
So,
would get Delane.
Mansour Delane, let's talk about him. Do you know
Yeah.
what Mansour Delane's biggest weakness is? Because
Uh,
nobody talks about it. It's his arm length.
yeah.
Everybody talks about it with Ruben Bain. Everybody talks about it with the edge rushers.
It's 30
He's
inches only.
he is fast. He ran a 4.38. I don't think he plays that fast. I
Right.
think he is the safe pick. He has greasy hips, that they like to say. But the percentage of guys with that arm length that actually hit are super low.
Mhm.
Uh, in fact, the only one that's hit really, I think that is the one that the Chiefs traded to the Rams, McDuffie. But I think McDuffie played at elite speed and was just sticky. This guy is awesome. He's not the best corner in the draft. Let me be clear about that. He is not the best man-to-man shutdown corner in
Mhm.
the draft. That's Jermon McCoy. But again, kind of like Will Johnson last year, who got drafted to the Cardinals, he was the best corner in the draft. He was the best man corner, but everybody was scared of the knee. So I just don't know what people are going to do with him if it's that bad that you have to take him off the board. But I think the Cowboys are doing circles. You get a disgruntled guy out of there, you get Mansour Delane and Sonny Styles, you got a defense, man. I don't
Yeah.
think there's any doubt about that
Yeah, and I
with
think
this
it
pick.
it it kinda depends. Yeah, I think Delane here's the problem. I think we're willing to overlook the weakness, his length, because, I mean, you had someone who had length in Trevon Diggs, and it meant nothing, really, at the end of the day. And
Mhm.
then if you have
He had
Butler
the
coming
injury,
back from
though.
well, yeah, but he hasn't been the same since the
Some
injury.
guys aren't the same after the
Right.
injuries.
Um, but, I mean, you're looking at Butler, who is coming back, another year away from that torn ACL. He could be pretty good. So now you're looking at maybe Delane playing the slot, or maybe even moving Bland back to the slot as well, because that's where
Mhm.
Bland was really, really good. So I mean, with Delane,
Bland is
you have
nice second. Mhm.
you have some options here. So I think that's why the Cowboys would go Delane here.
I think Delane is awesome. I just that he just does have a few weaknesses that
Yep.
nobody talks about, and that's the thing. Nobody talks about him.
Hmm.
Jeff Okudah had some weaknesses too. Nobody talked about him.
Yeah.
Only guy that did was my favorite guy, Chris Sims. Had his, 3rd or 4th corner, did not have
Right.
him as the number 1 slam dunk guy. It happens, but, I think he's gonna be awesome. I'm not afraid to say that. I just alright, let's move on though.
Yeah,
'Cause
yeah. So let's go to 13, which is the Rams.
I,
Um,
there's been some Denzel Boston chatter that I've heard here. Ultimately, everybody has been linking Mekhi Lemon there. I think Mekhi Lemon is Amon-Ra St. Brown capable, is what it all sounds like. He's tough as heck. He competes. He's really good. I just don't want to hear with him, he's the total package because
okay.
he's not. He is a slot receiver. That's it. He does not have elite speed. He didn't run the 40. I think he runs a 4.5, 4.6 40. That's slow. That doesn't mean he can't be successful, but
Right.
that's why, like, the Dolphins to me, I wouldn't take him. He's not the whole package. He's not the X. I think he's the
Yeah.
slot receiver. I think the Rams need that because they've got Puka, they've got Devontae, they run tight sets. I think he'd be
Mhm.
super successful with the Rams. I just don't wanna hear he's the total package and he's a slam dunk because the guys that make it, that are built like this guy, are limited.
Yeah.
There's not a high strike rate, and they don't go in the top 11, 12 picks, ever.
Mhm.
Amon-Ra St. Brown was a second round pick. People don't like to take slot receivers at a high selection unless they have elite speed, but this
Yeah.
is a different age. I think the slot receiver is super critical. So I think that's why the Rams can take him, but I just would be weary saying he'd be successful at Baltimore or he'd be successful for a team that doesn't, you know, utilize him properly. The
Yeah.
Dolphins, he can't carry the load. He has
Mhm.
to be
He's gotta be part of a great system to really thrive around other great receivers that will give him the opportunity to do his thing in the slot. Because if you're
yeah,
having Devontae Adams and Puka Nacua on your outside, um, and then
yeah.
you got Cam Akers, kinda, as your tailback, who's also like a threat a little bit, and then you got,
Kyron
great tight
Williams,
ends,
yeah,
or sorry, Kyren Williams.
yeah. They
Like,
got 4 great tight ends.
yeah, so this really it's a great situation
This is
for
not Steve Smith, you know what I mean? Like, Steve
right,
Smith
yeah, sure.
had 3 rockets up his butt. Like, he could fly.
Yeah,
This guy is slower. That doesn't mean he can't win, doesn't mean he can't be successful,
yeah.
but I think this is ultimately the pick.
Okay, so you said
I could see him going Denzel Boston too.
yeah. So you're saying sorry, I got them mixed up.
Mekhi
Where are you
Lemon.
going?
Mekhi
Okay.
Lemon. We can redo the pick, or we can refresh the pick if we mess it up. Alright, here we go. Baltimore. Baltimore, man, they could just take Ione, the Penn State guard. He's not
Mhm.
sexy, but he is the best guard in the draft.
Yeah. I think personally, I think that that's where they'll go.
But Sadiq is there, and they lost likely. They lost. Well, they still have your boy Mark
Mark
Andrews,
Andrews is still there.
who I think is still good, but he's
He
definitely
might be
not
on the
elite.
he
I
might
don't
be
think
on the
he's elite.
decline at this point.
My
He's
buddy who
not
you'll
like
meet
most of us.
tonight is a huge Ravens fan and is dying for Sadiq. Um,
So should we do this in honor of him? Pick, just
well,
take him.
I think Sean, who you'll meet tonight, he's a Sadiq guy. So let's go Sadiq.
All right.
We'll make him happy.
All
All
right. So
right.
15, this is you, buddy.
Okay. Man, we got some good guys here. I think ultimately in this scenario, but we're getting to the back half of the draft. I think the Lions or the Browns are calling us on the phone because they want Caden Proctor, who is not to me a top 15 left tackle, but those two teams love him. Um, but because they're three back to back, let's don't bother with the trade. I
Yeah.
think if I was the Bucks and I felt strongly that Jermon McCoy could be healthy, if the knee was fine, I'm taking him. I know he didn't play last year,
Mhm.
but this guy's special. You haven't had a shutdown corner ever. Not like
Like
what this
this.
guy can be.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I love Mesidor. I think Mesidor is worthy of this spot. But Mel Kiper said something a few weeks ago that said he didn't feel like the Bucks would take him at 15. That doesn't mean they wouldn't take him. That doesn't
I've
mean he's
never.
not the number one guy on their board. Um, but I don't think they would take him this high. It just sounded like he wasn't their cup of tea at 15. And he said it, and I was just like, man, I want Mesidor.
Mhm.
uh, so I think I'll just take Jermon McCoy and deal with the risk because you have other corners there. And I think you could get an R. Mason Thomas in the second round.
Yeah,
That's
I
kind of
think
what
so
I
too.
mocked them. I think R. Mason Thomas is a better fit for us
Mhm.
because I think he's more athletic. He could do more in pass coverage, which we ask our outside linebackers to do. All right, Browns. Again, I think the Lions would have traded up above the Browns to get Caden Proctor. I
Mhm.
think this one's Caden Proctor. They're just gonna fill out that offensive line. We're gonna be bigger than you. We're gonna be tougher than you. That's what we're doing.
Yeah.
And the Lions find themselves kind of messed over in this draft because I think they would have taken. I think they're hoping that it's Caden Proctor or
Do you think they
Monroe
settle
Freeling.
for Spencer Fano?
Spencer Fano is not a franchise left tackle. He is a good player. I think he's going to be a guard. I think he's going to be an athletic guard. I think you
Mhm.
think with him, you think the 49ers, you think the what the
Yeah.
Chargers would ask, it's a zone
Mhm.
but scheme type of guy. You could try him out at tackle and then move him, but he's not a big mauler either. So I don't think he would fit what they'd want at guard.
Yeah.
I think oh, but Dylan Theinman's sitting there too. I think ultimately Dan Campbell just wants a butt kicker.
Yeah.
I think he'd take Ione. I think he would take the guard because they need a guard. Their interior D line or O line's been kind of all over the place.
Yeah,
Let's
they
just
have
get a
been.
slam dunk,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
you know, knee biter. All right. Oh, Vikings. I love this player. Nobody's talking about the defensive tackles in the top 18 rounds.
Mhm.
Nobody's talking about this guy. I don't understand it. Can you name the Vikings defensive tackles?
I can't. No,
You
not off
can't
the top
because
of my
they
head.
cut them. They cut them all. They signed they signed big names last year that didn't have any gas left in the tank, and they play in the NFC North where people wanna run it down your throat. It's Caden
I know
McDonald.
they had Hunter, and then they let him go to Houston.
It's Caden McDonald. He is Vita Vea.
Hmm.
He is Vita Vea. They're gonna ask him to two gap. That's what Flores wants to do with his big guys. He comes from the Bill Belichick tree here. It's Caden McDonald. Unless they trade out, I also, as a Panthers fan, I would like to think of for a second about if Caden McDonald played with Dwayne Brown, that would be I would as a Bucks fan, I
Mhm.
would be in terror.
Yeah.
So I need the Vikings to take him. I don't think the Panthers would necessarily take him, but I would be scared out of my
Yeah,
mind.
you'd rather them not.
I would
Yeah.
rather them not. So this is where Panthers to me, safety, Dylan Theinman, I think he is worthy of this pick. Well, hold on. No, Sadiq's gone. Sadiq, I think this is where Sadiq's draft stock ends. Like, he will not go past 19. So I think Dylan Theinman for them. They could go tackle, but no, they picked up Douglas. They're kind of waiting on Ike Ekwonu to get back. All right. Titans. What we got on the board here? Oh, they're here. Oh, we're looking at the board here. Sorry. So you got George Pickens, so you don't need a receiver. What? How about they take Mesidor?
Sorry, I was muted that entire time. I did say Mesidor to just to
Oh,
start.
that's
I was
funny.
thinking of him at 20.
That would be
Yeah,
a slam dunk for them.
yeah.
All right. Steelers. So this to me, if Alane is gone, I don't think they're in the Ty Simpson running here. If they are, to me, that's crazy. I think they take Spencer Fano,
Okay.
the Georgia left tackle. He's coming off a neck thing, so you could start him out at tackle and then
Yeah,
move him to guard.
yeah. And then this one's an interesting one for
Yeah,
the Chargers. I mean, they were decimated on the offensive line, by
yeah, they had
injury.
bad luck.
Yeah, they had a
But I
ton of
think they got
injuries, and so if they
I
get them
think they
back
got
healthy.
players though.
Mhm.
I have had them taking in every mock Zion Young out of Mizzou, the defensive end. He is a Jim Harbaugh type of cat. He is a somebody stole my lunch money and I've got to get it back or I'm not going to eat tonight type of guy. He's there. He is number 40.
Yeah,
He is he's wearing a Mizzou helmet. That's why you don't want to take him. He's not wearing the Ohio State helmet. He's
yeah,
not wearing this guy has potential to be the guy, and they've got to get another guy opposite Mac. He is to me a Jim Harbaugh type of guy who wants it. All right, Eagles. Oh wait, no, we're on the Eagles.
yeah, we're on the Eagles, yeah.
All right. You and I have had a lot of Jalen Hurts discussions in the
Mhm.
past.
Right.
I'm not crazy on Jalen Hurts. I think he's a good player, but I think he's a little bit overrated in some ways.
I think he's overrated for Philly fans. I think Philly fans wanna put him in the top 5, and then they'll use team accomplishments to tell you why he's a top 5 quarterback. You just can't do that, and so I think that's where I think he is overrated is with Eagles fans just because
Oh,
they just don't
oh
know
yeah, you're
all.
gonna have your
Right.
crazy fans, but I think to me, I think a lot of the AJ Brown stuff is because they ran a simple offense, and I think that
Yeah,
is how
I
I
agree.
am on the camp that I don't know that that was the offensive coordinator's fault. There's a reason nobody wanted to take that job. This team came off the Super Bowl, has Saquon Barkley and all these cats.
No, you're right. Yeah,
Nobody wanted that job,
yeah.
and I think it's because anytime you make him read it out,
It never yeah.
it's just not his game. It's
Mhm.
a little more simplified, and it can be simplified because he is mobile, and you got
Yeah,
Saquon
but now
Barkley.
his mobility is starting to wane. Like, you're already
Mhm.
starting to see it. He's getting the injuries on his knees and,
Mm.
and his legs, and so when you can't now run the ball like you used to with Jalen Hurts, you know? So, yeah, I think those are legitimate concerns as well. I think for me personally, I think in this for this pick for the Eagles, you're looking at just the decline and the eventual end of Lane Johnson,
Yep, mhm,
and so I think you
definitely.
go Blake Miller here.
But I hold on, I do wanna say this.
Yeah.
I wanna I wanna make this pick with the understanding that the other pick is going to the Patriots,
Mhm.
because I think that
For sure,
it's gonna
100.
be NBA trade-esque. They're gonna pick
Mhm,
the player they want, and they're gonna trade June 1st or whatever for whatever reason. I don't actually know the reason. So, if they did that and that's all set in place, I think they would go receiver here as a replacement,
yeah,
but
uh-huh,
I don't think it'll be Denzel Boston. Why would you trade a guy on the outside for another guy on the outside who we're not gonna throw the ball to? I
mhm,
think Omar Cooper Jr. gives
yeah,
them a
right here.
little more something. He could get open. He's a little quicker. I could see a lot of teams like Omar Cooper Jr.,
Mhm,
and I could see that happening, and you can get a tackle at the end. You could get the Blake Miller or the Max Ionachor, who I've had them
mm.
taken a couple times at the end. That's what I
To
wrestled
me, it's
with.
always a toss-up between
Mhm.
Blake Miller and Max, like, those are the 2 ones that I go back and forth on.
Yeah. The nice thing about Max, he can play because he's raw, he could play left guard for you this year and then be your tackle in the future.
Ooh, that might be
So
interesting
he's
then.
got that capability,
I think
and
that's
they
what they're
know how
looking
to take
for.
tackles and make them guards. They did it with
Yeah.
a big old boy from the Jets whose
So
name
let's have them
escapes
take
me.
Max then.
You take Max here? Alright, let's
Yeah,
do it. I'm good with that.
okay.
I've had him taking him there
Yeah.
in the past, but that was before the A.J. Brown news. But this
Mhm.
guy, he's a road grader, he's just raw. Alright, Browns. Browns got Judy. I think the Browns are just like, we're gonna give Shador every reason. We got our defense. I'm a big Todd Monken guy. I've had actually a little bit of a run-in with Todd Monken in my past, but, in a good way, but I just mean, like, I have a story there,
Yeah,
but, I'm a big Todd Monken fan, and I think they go with the X, they get Denzel Boston,
okay.
which would give them the tackle,
Yeah.
Denzel Boston. You got Jerry Jeudy, you got some other guys, but that would be really good. Bears,
Mm.
defensive tackle, edge. I don't think they can take a receiver here. You've put a
No.
lot of
Mhm.
stock in your receivers. I know it's a need, but I don't think you can do it. No safety. You could take Emmanuel McNeil Warren here, but you also they picked up Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant, super
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah, yeah.
I like the defensive tackle. Well, I don't know that I like him, but I
But
think
for
that the
yeah.
defensive tackle, Peter Woods, is gonna go somewhere in this range, and yeah, Peter Woods. I think I can see them doing that, but they kinda missed out on the defensive ends, which
Mhm.
I think they would probably prefer,
Yeah.
but Peter Woods is my alright, Bills. My boy Blue, what are they gonna do? I don't think they're gonna draft a receiver. I think, they're gonna
I
go
mean, they just got DJ Moore, so I think they're feeling pretty good about maybe where they're at
yeah.
on that.
I like the other Clemson guy, TJ Parker, to go they don't have an edge. They don't have Bosa's not there right now. So I think they gotta take one of these defensive ends and hope they hit. I think,
You
he's a
said TJ
oh,
Parker?
wait, pause, 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 pause. Forgot
Yeah.
about Keldrick Folk.
Mhm.
I think the Bears could also take Keldrick Folk the pick before. I think it's
Yeah,
kinda
yeah.
their cup of tea. Peter Woods, again,
Yeah, we
borderline
could I
first round pick.
this.
No, I think let's keep it. Let's just
Okay.
keep I think Keldrick Folk here. My first round, I see it being a big boy first round once you get
Yeah.
past
Mhm.
the top guys. There's a lot of corners, but I think they're second round type of guys. All
Yeah.
right, here we go.
San Francisco.
49ers.
I think they've got options here. I think they
Mhm.
could, because they need offensive linemen for sure, but they also need more weapons as well. Even though you did get Mike Evans, you don't know how healthy he's gonna be this upcoming season. You're losing Brandon Ayuk, and so now you're looking at, like, Greg Jennings is your guy, or not
Yeah,
Greg
they
Jennings, Jawan
they
Jennings.
re-signed Trent Brown to 2
Mhm.
years. They
Or
still
Trent
got
Williams. Yeah.
McKivitz, the
Mhm.
right tackle, but I think they could go guard here. There are some guards worthy in Ianachor from the Ducks and Keelan Rutledge. I don't know. I don't think they would go Pregnon. Sorry. And then what was the tackles? They got Lomu.
They got Miller.
Oh, no, I don't think they'd take Miller. Hmm. They could. Who's their corners? I don't know who their corners are though. That's what I'm.
Let me look real quick.
Because Colton Hood to me is beyond worthy of this pick. I don't know if they would go corner here. It
They
doesn't.
got Lenore Green. They added Nate Hobbs and then Jack Jones and then Upton Stout and then Luter Jr.
Hmm. I think. Hmm. Man, I think they would have taken Fano here possibly too.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Personally, I still think that they're gonna go with Miller because yes, you did sign Trent Williams to it, but he's been hurt. He's 38 years old.
Miller's a right tackle.
Yeah. I think they
That's
would
the
move they could
only.
move him.
Okay, let's do it. I do think he's getting a lot of because he's played a lot of ball.
Yeah.
He's played a lot. I think they would be hoping for the
Who
Arizona
knows?
State
Maybe they
tackle.
trade up earlier than this to try and get
Mhm.
someone. Maybe.
And I think the Eagles and the 49ers, those picks, you could interchange them.
Yeah,
You
yeah, yeah.
know,
Yeah.
the Eagles could go, we like Blake Miller because he could play right tackle in the
Right.
future.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, then you got Houston.
Yeah, I think it's guard all the way. They made
Yeah.
tackle. It's Caleb Lomu. They're gonna move him to guard, or it's the
Mhm.
Oregon Pregnon. I think
Yeah, let's
Pregnon's a
go
freak.
yeah, let's go with Oregon. Let's
Okay,
go
I
Manuel.
like Pregnon.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, Chiefs. We had the Chiefs taking
I
Caleb
think we had
Downs.
the Chiefs. Yeah, they took down, so they already got their safety.
So two names I want to bring up for this pick because the tackles are gone. We've kind of decimated the
Mhm.
tackles.
Yeah.
To me, this is Colton Hood, corner. You get Colton Hood and you get the second best shutdown corner in the draft in
Mhm.
man. Or the other name I want to bring up, Caleb Banks, defensive tackle, Florida. He could be Chandler
Yeah.
Jones-esque,
Mhm.
but he's coming off 2 foot injuries on his left foot. Big guy. But this guy, if he didn't have that, would be a top 15 pick, no question.
Yeah.
There is some maturity issues. I think people question if he loves it or not. I don't know. I don't
Mm,
know that stuff.
right.
I'm just saying this guy to me could go here if the board was different, but I think Colton Hood is the pick.
Yeah, I think so too. I think with Kansas City, what they're looking for specifically, I think they're looking for, secondary. They're looking to
Okay.
rebuild the secondary. I think this is a great way to do it.
All right, Dolphins. I think you got to get some firepower to me,
Yeah,
and I
I
think
agree.
Casey Concepcion is the pick here. I've picked him. Oh wait, oh
Hold
Omar
on, I can
Cooper
undo it.
Jr.
I
is
can undo it.
still there. I
I can undo
forgot
it.
about that.
Yep.
I don't think any of the teams we did would take Omar Cooper Jr. Maybe they
Mhm.
would. I think Omar Cooper Jr. is nice. I I think you got to take him if you're the Dolphins and he fell this far. He's
Yeah.
got on one end with him, I feel like he's the Jahan Dotson of this draft, where it's
That's the
like
one.
really gets hyped up, gonna do all these things, and then I don't know that he's elite at anything,
Yeah.
you know. but
Yeah.
I think he's solid. I think to pick him 30 versus 15, which is like where Dotson went, I think the value's there. All right, Eagles. We had them taking the tackle.
Or Patriots.
Well, I'm saying Eagles. I think this will be the
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
AJ
Eagles,
Brown
we
trade.
had them taking a tackle. Yeah, yeah.
Man, do you go Concepcion and get? Oh no! Pause. No, T.J. Parker. If he was here, T.J. Parker,
Yeah.
edge Clemson. If the Eagles don't make this trade, like honestly, he'll go earlier. But if the Eagles did make this trade, then they get their
Mhm.
edge that they've been
Yeah, yeah,
looking
yeah.
for. If they don't, the Patriots get an edge. I think it's good. All right.
Mm.
Last pick here. If the Seahawks don't trade out, I would have them taking the running back.
Yeah,
Uh
that's what I was looking at. I was looking at a running back here.
it's Jadarian Price. He is
Jadarian
the other
Price.
running back from Notre Dame. This
Mhm.
guy, the only thing that's holding him up is he played with Love. People
Yeah.
are like, "Oh, he only carried the ball 15 times a game. We don't know if he can do it." But just like Love, if you watch him, it's a highlight reel. It is explosive play after explosive play. This guy has got some special capability. If I was the Seahawks, though, I would be calling the Cardinals and saying,
Mm.
"Hey,
Hey, do
we'll
you
flip. Just like we can take this guy later." Seahawks got plenty of other needs. They can find a solid guy in the second round. The Cardinals can get that 5th-year option. So I think ultimately this is where Ty Simpson would go.
Mm.
And it's just a little trade interdivisional, but you get the 5th year.
Do you wanna do that?
I personally do. Are you up for that?
Okay. Yeah, I'm up for that 100%.
Press next, yeah.
Okay, let's go
32, 34, and give him a
maybe like a
I think just propose it. Yeah, you gotta
yeah.
uncheck it. Yeah, we just need it to get done. All right. And they take Ty Simpson, who again, I think is really good, got some good
Yeah.
ability. The amount of players that have played 13 starts and been successful, super limited. But you're talking Derek Carr to me and Jimmy G. Like that's to me
Yeah.
this guy could be realm. I think Derek Carr is the height. That's the top, like that's the best he could ever be is Derek Carr. And I don't think he's quite as athletic as Derek Carr.
Mhm.
He lost a lot of weight when he got hurt. He didn't finish the season and he struggled down the stretch against your Sooners.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Just our
I think
dominant defense, you know?
I think if you're the Cardinals, you got to take a swing. I think the Jets should be the Manning team next year. Dante
That's
Moore
a good
next
point.
year.
Yeah.
Geno Smith is fine. Geno Smith played for the Raiders. What happened last year is not all Geno Smith's fault. I don't want to say he's elite. I think this is his last chance to get a starting job, but I'm just telling you, he's better than you think. He's not a franchise quarterback anymore. He's not worth $30 million.
Mhm.
I think it's funny he's going back there. But they got him Carnell Tate, who there's no way that guy's not going to hit to me. He's a Mecca Buka. He's, any of those Ohio State receivers. They don't really miss. They're just solid hits. I think that's why the Jets would take him. But I just think Ty Simpson, you put him with Jeremiah Love, you put him with those receivers and McBride. I think
I think yeah, I
you
think you
got
have a
something.
makings of a great offense, that will take time to develop. I think also you have the opportunity with Jacoby Brissett to let Ty Simpson, kinda
Mhm.
learn some things out. You can insert him late into the season, and get him some
Gardner
reps down the
Minshew
stretch. Yeah.
is there.
Oh, yeah, so, I mean, yeah,
If I
you
was them, I would have rather in the offseason gone after, uh the Packers quarterback that went to
Um,
the Dolphins, whose name just slipped me. That's what I would have done if from a team building standpoint. But
yeah,
you get a guy on a new contract. So anyway, but yeah, this was fun, man. I don't
yeah.
know. I don't know if any of this will happen. I do think Jordan Tyson is he's the game wrecker, and then I think my other big name is the defensive tackle, Caden McDonald. He
Mhm.
may not, for whatever reason, he gets. You probably did you even know about him?
About
Have
McDonald,
you?
no.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-mm.
The dude's a freak. Uh,
Yeah.
he and like Chris Sims was talking about how they talked to him at the combine. He said at the combine, I will be at the draft. You don't do that unless you know somebody's going to pick you.
Right.
You don't say it that early unless you know somebody's going to pick you. That's why Ty Simpson's going to the draft. They're trying to put pressure on teams to make it look like, oh, somebody might pick me. That's why he's going to the draft to build his stock. But he said that so early. This guy's gonna go and he's gonna be awesome. I If he went earlier, it wouldn't surprise me. I know we spend a lot of time talking about a defensive tackle here,
Mhm.
but nobody's talking about him. He's and
Right.
the other defensive tackles, there's a lot of really good there. There could be some other guys sneak into that first round. But anyway, well, what do you think? We're done. We did it.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be I mean, I would love for this to happen, personally for the Cowboys, for us to get Sonny Styles into Lane.
Yeah.
And then also, we figure out a George Pickens situation as well, and then you're probably looking, um, potentially at a receiver maybe in the 2nd or 3rd round, and that's kinda where
Mhm.
you wanna be, especially once you get rid of George Pickens, but, I think what's gonna be interesting in this draft is what happens within the first 5 to 6 picks. Like, what
Mhm.
trades go down, what happens, um, so, yeah, it's gonna be a fun draft tonight, so but,
If
yeah,
you're
I
a Bucks
appreciate you being on,
fan,
man.
sorry, one more thing. If you're a
No,
Bucks
you're good.
fan and it goes down like our draft showed where Caden Proctor's the only tackle left when you're picking, that is like dream scenario to me because you give me your best offer, Dolphins or Lions and Browns. Like we'll take your best offer, and then we'll take Mesidor or McCoy after you because
Mhm.
it's like you're literally flopping one pick. Because I think there'll be a bidding war for Caden Proctor. I think both of those teams super high on him. But dude, this was awesome. I've never gotten to do this on live TV. I thought it went super well. I don't know how much editing you have to do. I felt like we did a really good job. We didn't have many slip ups or anything. It really worked nice. I'd love to
Yeah.
do it again in the future. This was super fun, and we'll see what happens tonight, man. I'm excited. I'm excited. It's a holiday, man. Got to
Yeah.
get the music going. Got to have Mel Kiper's big head saying outlandish things or
You'll
talking
be hard
smack
pressed to
to
tell
the
me otherwise.
NFL about not taking Shador Sanders or how
Dude, that
Titans
was
should have
crazy
built
last
better
year.
around Will Levis.
Yeah. Yeah, no, dude. It was when I went so last year happened, which was hilarious. Last year when it happened, I was at the men's retreat at Falls Creek,
Mhm.
and so any downtime that we had, I was like or eating, watching 2nd, 3rd round, 4th round draft. Like,
Uh-huh.
it was intense. So, yeah, I think tonight's gonna be great. Appreciate having you on. Um And that's going to do it for this segment. If you have any thoughts or if your list looks completely different than ours, man, feel free, drop it down in the comments. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. And we'll see you next time. God bless.
All right. Thanks, guys.